This is Meteorologist Matthew East, and this is the Wednesday edition of the Tropical Weather video. The tropics remaining pretty quiet for us, so this will not be a very lengthy video, but a couple things I want to show you. There's the National Hurricane Center outlook across the Atlantic Basin, and they still are just keeping one eye on that weak tropical wave east of the Lesser Antilles, but it's pretty disorganized. Let's get into some of the satellite imagery this morning. The Gulf of Mexico, very, very quiet. Now, I do note this area of shower and thunderstorm activity here in portions of the Caribbean Sea. And I'll show you in just a second. Actually, one of the computer models, at least, tries to develop something out of that area later on. We'll come back to that in just a second. Farther out the Atlantic, there's our tropical wave, looking very weak, very disorganized this morning. Certainly nothing impressive with that tropical wave right now. Looks like the prospects of that developing into a tropical system are pretty low. And this is the view across the entire Atlantic Basin. This is the water vapor imagery. And you notice when you get out here to the eastern Atlantic over toward the coast of Africa, a lot of dry air in place. And that's going right along with the thinking I've been laying out here that I don't think we see any African wave train development here over the next 5 days or so. But that could change, it looks like, as we get into next week and beyond toward the end of the month. It looks like we'll see a little bit of a pulse back up in that wave activity coming off of Africa, and that could, again, toward the late month, lead to some developmental opportunities with tropical waves off the African coast. But for the rest of this week, looks like the African wave train is settling down. All right, this is the GFS model. I wanted to show you this. And we've been talking for the past several days about the possibility of something trying to develop here off of the Carolina coast, and we still have a lot of the modeling trying to pick up on that by Sunday or Monday. This is 8 o'clock Monday morning off the GFS, and it is trying to develop some weak trough or low pressure area off of the coast. This is not going to be a big deal, it doesn't look like, but if you do have beach plans, especially around Sunday or Monday to the Carolina coast, and even down through the Georgia and Florida coast, there could be some rainy conditions by the end of the weekend and early next week. But that's about it. It doesn't look like a big tropical type system developing. And again, notice here, this is valid Monday. The GFS trying to pick back up on the activity coming off the coast of Africa by that point. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we get into next week. And remember I showed you that activity in the Caribbean Sea at the beginning of the video. This is the no-gaps model, and it is trying to develop something out of that activity and then move it northwest into the Gulf of Mexico as we get toward the beginning of next week. That's the only model showing this that I've found this morning, so nothing certainly set in stone, but that's something we'll keep an eye on toward the beginning of next week. And I wanted to show you this. The U.S. Geological Survey has completed some before and after photos of Hurricane Ike, and this is just a couple of them. I know they're very difficult to see on the video. What you have up here on the top, these are a couple of the before photos, and then you have photos on the bottom of the same spots afterwards, and the yellow arrows are some reference points in both photos. And again, I know it's tough to see on the video, but this is the link for all that information. I know it's a very long link, but if you check my blog, I will have that link posted there for you, where you can see some of these before and after photos with Hurricane Ike. All right, that's it for today. My email address, matthew.east@news14.com, and Time Warner Cable Channel 14. That's where News 14 Carolina's home is located, and on the web, www.news14.com. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday, and God bless.